Hey, everybody, welcome back to the Closing with Costigan podcast. Sorry, I've been out for quite a few weeks. I was on vacation last week or 2 weeks ago, and I obviously just had to catch up a lot when I got back. But today we're going to be talking about three free ways that you can expand your business that I've spoken about before, that I've gotten a lot of feedback on, that people kind of want to know more about. So, with that being said, number one is going to be Instagram Reels. Now, we're going to specifically focus on Reels today. So, what is an Instagram Reel? It's a video on Instagram that is less than 1 minute, and statistically, they generate 67% more engagement than any other form of video on Instagram. So there's two forms of video on Instagram. There's IGTV and there's Instagram Reels. IGTV is made for longer videos. It's longer than a minute. And Instagram Reels are obviously going to be less than a minute. So these generate way more engagement and views than any other source of video that I've ever seen, to be honest with you, even more than TikTok, Facebook, LinkedIn, any of that. These generate so much engagement. So, how do we utilize these correctly to expand your business and your income? Now, there's nothing wrong with this. I'm not knocking anybody who's doing this, but I am going to encourage the individual doing this to change what they're doing. So, if you're a pretty avid Instagram user, you've obviously know what a reel is, and you've seen reels, especially from real estate agents if you're in real estate. So a lot of these agents are putting out these kind of joke videos, is what I like to call them. They're like 15 to 20 seconds, and whether they're like knocking text off of the screen or they're talking about what their client did. Personally, I don't think those are very beneficial to your business. So, how do we utilize these correctly? Every time that you put something out into the public, whether it is a postcard, a mailer, a video, any type of post, we want to post that with value. So, post with value. When we put these joke videos out, or I see these agents putting these joke videos out, what I like to call them, which is like the 20 to 30 second, like, there's only music playing in the background and you're like pointing at stuff or knocking text off the screen or like imitating what other somebody else was doing, like using their template. We want to be different. So, how do we do that? Every time that we put out an Instagram video or Instagram Reel specifically, we want to provide value to the consumer. Think about it. Whenever you put out a mailer or you send a mailer out, right? What are you going to put on there? Are you going to put on there something that somebody else is doing? Or are you going to put something on there that's a joke? Or are you going to say, hey, we sold this house for 1.4 million, $55,000 over asking. Please text or call if you're interested in selling or you would like a free CMA, right? So we need to post with value. And how do we post with value? With information, providing knowledge, and being ourselves. So I'm going to say that again. How do we post with value? Knowledge, information, being ourselves. Again, when we put out anything on social media, we want to think of it as an advertisement, right? So when you put out an advertisement on anything, what are you going to do? Are you going to put out a joke? Are you going to put out something that somebody else was doing? Are you literally going to copy someone else's template and send it out to people? No. When we post something, we are reaching our target market and we want to reach them with value, right? If you're looking at two Instagram profiles or two realtors in general, are you going to use the realtor that posts with value and says, hey, this is what the market's doing this week? This is how the economy is doing. This is how the economy is affecting the real estate market. This is the average price per square foot in this neighborhood. Or are you going to use the realtor who posts jokes and the very obvious stuff like, hey, get pre-approved, or this is what my client did last week. You know what I mean? And I think it's crazy again when people post about their client, because like if they have any type of idea what social media is, chances are they follow you and they're going to see that. So I would highly not recommend that. But with Reels, we want to post with value. They get so much engagement, and it's dumb if you don't post with value. Yes, the occasional music one, every month or two is fine, but we want to post with value. So for example, every time that I put out a video, I have a system. It is either knowledge, information, or a house tour in my market. So I'll stand in front of a house, walk in and say, "Hey, this is what $2.4 million gets you in Nashville, Tennessee in this area." And I make it cinematic, right? And as you film, you'll get better at filming and you'll start to see what works and what doesn't. But every time that I put out a post, it has allows the consumer to gain knowledge on that particular town, that particular market, or the real estate market in general, or it's a house tour. Because who knows? Somebody can reach out to you and be like, "Wow, that house is amazing. Can we please go see it?" So when you look at Instagram, you want to look at it as an advertisement. What is going to get you business? Is posting videos with jokes and music going to get you business? Or is posting home tours, knowledge, market updates going to get you business? And personally, it's knowledge, market updates, house tours every time for me. Not even a question. So, just a quick tip there. I think when you're posting on Instagram or any social media, we want to post with knowledge, information, and being yourself. That is going to get you the most business, not these joke videos with music imitating other people, talking about other clients, talking about how bad things are. And that's another thing. Like, I've seen so many posts where it's like, "Oh my God, the market's like tanking," like when the market tanks, and it's like people laughing and stuff like that. Like, don't you want to be known as the positive realtor in your marketplace? Right? Like, would you rather go work with Joe Schmo who's posting about how bad the market is? Or would you rather go work with somebody who's encouraged by this market and thinks that their client can take this as an opportunity? So, whenever we post, again, I'm going to say this one more time. We want to think of it as an advertisement. What is going to get you business? What is going to align with your brand? And what is going to generate you income? Right? So, that's kind of my 2 cents on Reels. Every time you post, it needs to be aligning with your values and provide knowledge to the consumer. Number 2, again, this is going to be free. Google My Business. So if you don't have a Google My Business page, you need to get one. It's very simple. Go to Google, type in Google My Business on Google, set up your Google My Business account. It's super easy. It guides you through the whole entire thing. Now, Google is huge. It's the largest search engine in the world. And when you talk about SEO and search in general, Google trumps every single social media site on the planet, right? So when you type in realtor by me, usually the individual who's either paying the most money pops up or the individual who has the most reviews pops up. So after you set this up, this is going to be my advice to you. And first of all, I want to give you a statistic here. The average Google business profile receives 33 clicks per month. So that's 33 people that you are going to be reaching just by setting this up. 33 potential clients that you could be reaching just by setting this up. And I will talk about this in a later episode, but your website also needs to look good because if you've heard of a funnel, obviously this isn't a real funnel, but Google My Business goes to your website. So when they see you, they're going to check out your website. So your website needs to be good as well. But average Google business profile receives 33 clicks per month. And using images in your Google business profile has increased revenue by 17% per visitor. Now, there's a ton of other statistics on Google My Business that I can tell you guys, but there's only one that I think you really need to know. You need to have Google reviews. And I've said this so many times, you need to have Google reviews. And when you're first starting out, I'm mainly saying this for the new realtor. You don't need to buy or sell a house to have Google reviews. You don't, right? You can send the link out. There's a link on Google My Business. When you log in, it says send link for review. And you can send that link to your friends. And you can just say, "Hey, do you mind saying something nice about me just real quick? Can you just take 4 minutes and type something up?" It could be, "Hey, Jack Costigan's the hardest working individual that I've ever met." Or Jack Costigan has the most attention to detail I've ever seen in my life. It doesn't need to be, "Oh my God, Jack sold my house $55,000 over asking," right? Like, Google reviews matter because Google is going to recognize that you're getting attention. They're going to recognize the words that are in those reviews and they're going to rank you on Google. And what I mean by rank is that when you type in realtor near me, obviously, I think maybe there's 10 to 20 links per page on Google. When you get enough of those, you are eventually going to show up on Google without paying Google, which is what a lot of people do. So you're going to need to get reviews. And again, anytime that you buy or sell a house, you need to get a review. That is no questions asked, like at all. Zero. You need to get a review and don't do it at a bad time, right? Like don't on closing day, don't be like, hey, can you fill out this like review for me? Obviously, that's a very high stress time and you shouldn't be asking that during that time. Ask it when a great thing happens, right? Like when you go under contract or maybe a week or two after when they finally get their furniture in. Do it when a good thing happens. That way they're in a good mood. They're going to say yes and they're going to write something positive about you. So, two things. When you're new in real estate, start your Google business page. Get 5 to 10 reviews, just people complimenting you. And they're not fake reviews, right? Like, obviously, allow these people to say something positive about you that's true because you don't want something on your Google My Business page that isn't true about you. So, secondly, when you do a transaction, make sure to get a review. Like you have to get a review. It's non-negotiable. Thirdly, this one might be a little more complicated for some people, but YouTube. You need to have a YouTube channel. And again, like I always say this, copy and repeat the look and feel of other pages that you like and then make it into your own. So like your avatar and which is your profile picture and your background on your YouTube page. You can make all of these using Canva. So what I would recommend to you, along with the Instagram Reels, like I suggest studying all this before you actually start doing it. So like when you have an Instagram, go look at 300 to 400 realtor pages. This is how I get all my content. Go look at 300 to 400 realtor pages, go through all of it and favorite or save all of the ones that you like, and then make your own out of those. Same with YouTube. All the look and feel of everything, copy and repeat, make it into yours. So with YouTube is massive, right? Because it stays there forever. Reels obviously stay there forever as well, but they're gone in 2 days. The average engagement on Reels is 2 days. So you have 2 days to make all the impressions you possibly can. With YouTube, that video is sitting there forever and you can search it. So for example, I do my Nashville updates once a week. I post them on YouTube. If somebody types in Nashville on Google or on YouTube, maybe after 6 months to a year, one of those videos is going to show up on the first or second page, which is big. You want that. But with Reels, you can search a reel, but there's so many being made every day. Like the chances of them finding that is just theoretically impossible. So with YouTube, though, you need to find a system. So for example, I post Nashville updates, home tours, and these podcasts. That's it. And Google obviously owns YouTube. So Google will recognize all of this and will start to realize your system, and then it will start to rank you on YouTube as well. And these 3 key things with marketing, like the goal of advertising, I think, is that you want to be seen everywhere with the same message, with the same values, but you want it to be everywhere. So this video that I'm making right now, this podcast, will go on Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, and YouTube. Just one video. So you want to be seen everywhere. You want to have the most outreach you possibly can. And again, it's all free. It just takes the work. And I've talked about this the last week, obviously, with how the market's been doing and the negativity around the market. You need to be putting in the work. You need to take time out of your day to do this and create content and expand your outreach. Because right now, this is the only free thing that is going to get you business. I promise you that. It's the only free thing. Content is the only free thing that will get you business. If you can think of something else, then please let me know. Obviously, I mean, even if you take someone out to lunch, that's still money, right? So like creating content on your phone, on camera is the only free thing that is going to get you business. But YouTube is big. So Create your niche, whatever you want to do, whether it's answering one question a day, doing home tours, you need to be creating video on YouTube because it's forever. It's long term. That will stay there forever. If you do a 12 South feature, for example, that's a small little town in Nashville here, a little street in Nashville. Tons of shops. It's absolutely gorgeous. If you do a home tour or a neighborhood feature there, right? You never know. Somebody can be looking on Google, what is 12 South like? Your YouTube video could pop up, and who are they going to contact when they see who made that video and is talking about the price per square foot and how many homes sold? They're going to contact you most likely, unless they already have a realtor they're working with. But if they don't, chances are they're going to contact you. So, three quick things, and I wanted to really dive into this because I've been kind of saying it like people already know how to work this and how to use it. And I wanted to really dive into it today on just the specifics behind it and the why. So, Instagram Reels, largest engagement you're going to get on Instagram. And don't be that person that just puts out video with music behind it and is trying to be funny. Those work sometimes, like, cool, let's boost the mood a little bit once or twice a month. But you want to post with value. So, posting with value is the number one goal here. Number two, Google My Business. Reviews, reviews, reviews. If you're a new agent, call your friends, text your friends, ask them to leave you a review about you and your character on Google. And when you do a transaction, non-negotiable, you need a review. And number three, YouTube. Just another form of outreach. And you can use the exact same videos you're using on Instagram on YouTube. So those are three quick things that I think are going to benefit you guys immensely right now. And it's the only free way that you're going to generate business right now. So with that being said, that's Marketing Monday for you. We are going to be doing an interview with my boss, Dana Jurgensen, on Thursday on relational business and non-paid business. So keep a lookout for that, and I will see you guys next time. Thanks.